identities, you're sure that we talk about our social, economic, and political issues. Last week we spoke about an issue that was very dear to our hearts, the issue of service delivery. Today we continue with the issues related to that, and we're talking about the issues of municipal budgeting and finance management. And again, this is brought to us by We Pay, You Deliver. And again, I have the dearest Dr. Davison to speak about the survey that they did about this issue. Doctor, We Pay, You Deliver, and you carried out another survey on budgeting.
Yes.
Why the budgeting survey?
First is that the budget is the single most important tool that any local authority uses in order to assign funding priorities.
Right.
So anything that is not in the budget is not going to receive any attention. That's number one. Number two is to say that the budgeting process in itself is one process amongst many where citizen participation is pronounced. So we also wanted to gauge the participation of citizens in such a process. The third and final reason speaks to the fact that when you look at finance, finance is the most important resource that also allows a local authority to provide services.
Kana tichitaura nyaya dzemafinances and budgeting and these processes, usually these are things that usually citizens are not so much interested in. What were some of the findings of your research?
Maybe to begin with, what we realized is that more than 70% of the people that participated in the study, that's 5,284, they indicated that they did not participate in the last budgeting process. There are several reasons to that. One is that they think that this is just a formality. They also think that councils do not take their views seriously in as far as financial management is concerned. To move on, we also realized that all the 5 cities, Bulawayo, Gweru, Harare, Masvingo, and Mutare, they are all in excess of $1 billion by government institutions, by industry and commerce, and also by residents. But when we look into those numbers into detail, we realize that, for instance, for City of Harare, 42% is owed by industry and commerce. So the fact or the notion that residents are not paying is not true.
Wow, that is so
because
important.
if you then look again, we realize that around 26% of the debt is for high-density suburbs. Then 28% is for low-density suburbs. So it's not necessarily that vanhu vari kumufakosa hasi vari kubhadhara. Vanhu vasiri kubhadhara industry and commerce muno muHarare nevanhu vanogara kuma-low density suburbs. That's what it means. Then further on, we also realized takatarisisa financial statements or financial data from 2012 to 2018. We also realized that in all the local authorities, they are making a deficit in the provision of healthcare services. For instance, City of Harare is making a deficit of 24 million per year.
I saw that in your report, and I asked myself, which health, are people accessing free health? What do we mean when we're talking about the health budget?
The government of Zimbabwe has a policy to say that if you are under 5 years and also on maternity, it's for free. So the City of Harare treats around 1.2 million patients annually.
All right.
But in order to keep its clinics open, it's making a deficit. City of Bulawayo, a deficit of around 16 million. So what does this mean? What it means is that they are surplus making accounts like water. It makes a surplus. And rates, it makes a surplus.
By surplus, you mean the budget is performing well?
Exactly. So zvazvinozorewa manje zvinozorewa kuti kanzuru inozotora mari kubva kumvura kana kuti kumaretsi kuti izokavhira paita deficit.
Zvakaipei kuti kana kanzuru surplus here kana kuti, because if you're saying surplus and yet residents are saying mvura haisi kubuda zvakanaka, izvozvo tikabata mvura yeCity of Harare panobuda pakaengerara. So are they making surplus or they're giving a short service kumvura voita kunge vane surplus vozoitora voindisa uku? Zvakamira sei? What are we talking about when we're talking even about a surplus, when a service is actually being delivered shortly?
Right. Data ratinaro riri kutiudza kuti, for instance, 2017 City of Harare Water yakaita surplus ye 8,195,808. That's what it means. But at the same time, City Health yakameka loss ye 20 million. saka zvazvinoreva ndezvekuti mari yaikwanisa kushandiswa for water or kuexpanda zvinhu zvakaita sawater nemamwe maservices is also being taken from there in order to cover for a deficit. Saka in essence kana vanhu tichifara tichiti tikuenda kuchipatara chekanzuru tiri kunorapwa pachena hazvisizvo zvazvirikutaura, tiri kubhadhara but indirectly.
Inofanira kubvepi mari inofanira kuenda kuhealth though?
Ini zvandofunga ndezvekuti government kana ine policy yekuti vanhu vanofanira kubhadhara, vanofanira kurapwa mahara, inofanira kuintroduce a health financial subsidy kuti kanzuru yese yese yotarisa kuti inorapa vanhu vangani nemaclinic mangani panoallocatwa budget paper ponzi city of Harare iri kupuwa mari yakati, city of Bulawayo iri kupuwa yakati. Other than that tineta kutarisa ma-cost recovery measures, but takutarisa ma-cost recovery measures anozova ne-implications, there will be implications on poor people again who are not able to pay for the service.
I just chimed in with several questions. Okay. What were the other findings? Maybe Mchidimbu.
Okay. One of the key findings is that 50% of all the local authority expenditures is going to employment costs. And when you also look into that, you realize that 50% and above of the income generated by all the cities is going to pay salaries. So what it means is that money that is left for the provision of services is little. That's what it essentially means.
All right.
Yes.
I saw the issues to do with corruption, because I think in some places you say 20% of people have actually said we've had to pay kanzuru ku chivara muromo kuti vasavarwe mvura. Maybe you may mention about the issue of corruption as far as findings are concerned.
One of the things is that when we look at debtors to say why are people not paying, we have to ask a little bit further, why are they not paying? One is that they said they think that money is being misappropriated. The challenge then becomes also compounded by the fact that since 2012 up to now, there is no single local authority that has audited financial accounts on a yearly basis. I
think I want to come back on that note so that you can expand once we're coming from the break, that what does it mean? Okay. The statement that you've just made. Residents and citizens, stay with us. We're just taking a break. We want to come back and understand further. Stay with us.